Hi, I'm Paul Bannister. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Raptive. We represent the ads for about 5,000 creators' websites, and my job as the Chief Strategy Officer is two parts. One is I run all of the revenue teams, so all of our programmatic advertising teams, as well as all of our ad sales teams, and make sure that we're bringing in the most money possible to pay out to our creators. And then second, from like a larger strategy perspective, work a lot with companies across the industry to really try to set new standards and set new ways for the ecosystem and the industry to work better so we can all move forward into the future. Google's AI Overviews product, which was released in May of 2024, is Google's first major attempt at using AI, using generative AI as a platform to take content from all kinds of creators and publishers, pull it into their AI systems, and then produce new answers in search results pages. So Google's model for a long time, as we all know, has been you type in a search, you get a collection of answers, and you click to a website that gives you the answer you're looking for. AI Overviews kind of flips that on its head, and where as a user you type in a search, and instead of clicking to a website, you might see the answer directly on the page. That's a direction Google's been going for a long time on a number of different fronts, but this is sort of its biggest and most aggressive foray into the space, where now instead of taking content from creators and publishers and sending them traffic in return, now there's a world that's possible in the future where Google will take that content and keep all the traffic for themselves, which obviously could be very bad for creators and publishers. So we are spending a lot of time, one, advocating with Google, with other AI companies, to really make sure that they are giving control and compensation to creators for the content they create. We think that's one really important thing. And second, assuming that doesn't work, is really working on new ways to diversify traffic and make it so, again, creators and publishers can reach their audiences in different ways. One good thing is there's a lot of organizations in the industry that are trying to help make it easier for publishers and for advertisers to kind of get through this big transition. I think on the publisher side, you've got organizations like the IAB Tech Lab doing a lot of work on pushing Google to make the right changes to the privacy sandbox. You've got Prebid, which is building a lot of new technology to help publishers kind of stay ahead of the curve and be able to use these technologies. Because of our place in the market and because of our scale, we've spent a lot of time building these technologies ourselves and giving them to Prebid or giving them to the Tech Lab and being a part of those conversations to build these new things. And so I think for most publishers, it is working with those industry groups, working with your partners to make sure you've got the new technology turned on to really be one step ahead of the curve. And it was a pretty interesting analysis, I think, because it's still early days and the numbers are still relatively small, but you can see from a percentage basis which companies are looking at this as, I just need to transition my business from here to here, and are thinking about the world that way, which is obviously very important. But then there are some companies that are thinking, how do I use this opportunity and this moment of disruption to really change my business and really kind of go forward in a bigger way? And so we mentioned a few companies. One good example is AdRoll, which is a bigger DSP, and how they are spending significantly more of it against Google's privacy sandbox than they were in just general kind of cookie-based targeting, which is a really interesting kind of symbol of that company as an example being more innovative and pushing forward. And so from AdRoll is a good example. I heard a lot of good feedback where they were excited to obviously be talked about, but the data kind of backs up the fact that they're saying they're trying to move forward and build new technologies. With the change from third-party cookies to these new technologies, it creates a lot of opportunity for companies, again, to build new things and move in new directions. So in the example I was talking about before, where DSPs or companies that aren't DSPs today are thinking about how they can move into that world, there's a technology called Component Buyer, which is a part of Google's Privacy Sandbox, Protected Audiences API, and they're building towards that. The same is true on our side, where we more represent on the sell side of the market, and there's a technology called Component Seller that is traditionally used by SSPs, and we're building that technology ourselves to think about, again, what are ways we can innovate, what are ways we can do more and drive more value for our customers. So just using this moment of, again, using a time of disruption to innovate and push forward. Work with good partners who are really innovating and leading the industry. It's a moment of change, and I think people that are not pushing forward are likely to be left behind. And so I think for publishers, they have to pick partners who are really focused on what is the right data for the future, what are the right identity solutions for the future, how are they thinking about privacy, because all this is driven by privacy at the end of the day. So I think picking good partners, working with them, and kind of going deep is really important.